Every financial collapse in the last 500 years had winners. They were not the people who bought gold. They were not the people who panicked. While the public system collapsed, a private world remained completely untouched, while governments confiscated, while currencies collapsed, while banks closed their doors. A very small group of families did something entirely different, something history consistently failed to record, something they never announced. 3 letters arriving simultaneously from 3 cities. His expression, absolute calm. What they held was not what you have been told to hold. And that gap is the difference between a family that survives 1 generation and a dynasty that survives 20. Every crisis, same pattern, different century. The names change. The mechanism never changes. 3 tiers, 3 worlds. Most people spend their entire lives in the bottom 1, never knowing the others exist. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what old money does when systems collapse. Not what they say they do, what they actually do, and why it has worked, without exception, for 5 centuries. Right now, every financial outlet is telling you the same thing. They have been telling you the same thing through every crisis for the last 100 years. Buy gold, diversify, hold cash, protect your savings. The advice is not wrong. It is simply not the whole picture, because the whole picture was never made available to you. This is advice designed for people who are supposed to stay exactly where they are. Because on the other side of every financial system, there has always been a private one. Different rules, different instruments, different outcomes. The families who held wealth across centuries were never playing the same game. They built a different structure. Long before any crisis arrived, 10 cities, 10 private wealth structures, completely intact after the 1929 collapse, not by accident, by architecture. While 9,000 American banks failed in 4 years, not one private banking dynasty lost their structure, because it was built for exactly that moment. April 5th, 1933. Every American legally required to surrender their gold. Not every family did. The question is not whether a collapse is coming. Collapses are cycles. The only question is which side of the architecture are you on when the cycle turns. The night before Waterloo, one family already knew the outcome. That is not conspiracy. That is architecture. 1815. Nathan Rothschild received news of Waterloo 24 hours before the British government. 24 hours is all the architecture required. London Stock Exchange, 1815. Everyone reacting. Rothschild, completely still. He did not buy gold. He bought British government bonds at collapse prices. While every investor sold in panic, he bought everything they threw away. Within 2 decades, the Rothschild family held more British government debt than the British government itself. A crisis that destroyed 10,000 fortunes, built one dynasty permanently. 5 cities, 5 simultaneous legal structures. No single government, no single crisis could reach all 5 at once. That was the entire design. The Medici Bank, Florence, 1450. Deposits from Rome, Venice, Bruges, and London simultaneously. No single dependency. No single point of failure. 3 centuries earlier, the Medici family. While Florence experienced 7 banking collapses between 1340 and 1460, the Medicis survived every single one because they were embedded in every system simultaneously. When one fell, they were already inside the next because they held something no crisis could ever reach: information and the infrastructure to act on it before anyone else. Information asymmetry was not an advantage. It was the foundation everything else was built on. Common merchants held gold and land, things with an address a government could find. The Medicis held claim structures across 6 jurisdictions, nothing with a single point of exposure. Gold is heavy. Gold is detectable. Gold can be confiscated. Every dynasty that survived understood this long before any government proved it. Executive Order 6102, April 5th, 1933. Mandatory surrender, $10,000 fine, 10 years imprisonment. Every American citizen legally required to surrender their gold to the Federal Reserve. Overnight, what you held in your own name became a liability. While the public surrendered, a Swiss private vault remained completely untouched. Not every family complied, because their gold was never inside the jurisdiction. The elite had already placed theirs in a structure, in a jurisdiction, where that order simply did not apply. Geneva Freeport, Luxembourg, Singapore, outside national jurisdiction entirely. Assets in transit have no fiscal domicile, legally, since 1888. Trust structures, not in their name, not in any jurisdiction, a permanent legal entity with no nationality and no single point of attack. Here is what nobody tells you about gold. Same crisis, 1929 to 1933. Gold, confiscated and flatlined. Private credit instruments, continuous, uninterrupted, completely untouched. The Rockefellers did not protect their wealth with gold during the Depression. They built Rockefeller Center in 1930 at the absolute bottom of the worst collapse in American history. Stored assets get confiscated. Productive assets get protected because governments need them to function. The twist is this: every crisis in the last 5 centuries transferred wealth, not destroyed it. From the unprepared to the architecturally positioned, the wealth did not disappear. It moved, not destroyed it, transferred it. And the families who built the receiving structures received it. The question old money has always asked is not, how do I survive the crisis? The question is, how do I position before it arrives? Because by the time the crisis is visible to everyone, the transfer has already begun. What old money actually holds is not a list of assets. It is a structure with 4 layers, each designed to do something the previous layer cannot. Layer 1, productive land inside a trust structure. Structural ownership. Governments have never successfully confiscated what they cannot identify as personally owned. Layer 2, art in Freeport storage, outside national jurisdiction entirely. The asset exists, but legally nowhere a government can reach. Layer 3, private credit instruments, not market traded, not publicly visible, held in custodianship by institutions that have survived every crisis since 1815. This is not a portfolio This is architecture, built to outlast anything a government or a crisis can produce. You do not need to be a Rothschild to understand what the Rothschilds understood. Principle 1, never hold in your name what you can hold in a structure. Principle 2, no single jurisdiction controls more than one layer of your architecture. The Rothschild model from 1815 is still the operational blueprint for every major family office today. Principle 3, assets that generate returns survive crises. Assets that sit and wait get confiscated. Principle 4, the most protected asset in every dynasty was never gold. It was knowing what was coming before everyone else. Every family that survived centuries of collapse followed this architecture. Not instinct, not luck, architecture. Rothschild, Rockefeller, Medici, Vanderbilt, Astor, different centuries, different crises, the same structure underneath every single one. The question you should be asking now is not what do I buy? The question is, what structure do I build? In the next video, we go one level higher. The family office, the structure old money built to hold the architecture permanently. Watch it now. VAULTWIRE, the architecture of generational wealth.